Welcome back, dear Grade 10 learners. Before the ad break, we did some calculations on a business and we were able to calculate the money that Yusuf had at the end of the week. Now, as we're about to conclude the class, it is important that I remind you of the things that we have covered in the sessions. We have spoken of the calculation of selling price, the cost price, as well as the profit using markup. Remember the UK method. We have also touched on the formal and informal businesses. We did stretch and explain on the reasons for starting an informal business that included unemployment, the need to raise capital, and all other reasons. We also touched on the types of informal businesses, where we spoke about street vendors, those who work from home, and even those who are in the flea markets. We also touched on indigenous accounting. We also touched on the characteristics of our formal and informal businesses. Now, it is very, very important, dear learners, that you remember the words that I introduced in the sessions. I spoke of informal accounting, formal accounting. I spoke of the VAT vendor. I also spoke of the UK method. I also spoke of the cost price, the markup, the selling price, as well as money received and money paid. These are words that must keep ringing in your mind when you think indigenous bookkeeping. Now, there are errors that most of you make when you are faced with such a topic. It is very important that you do not mix up the characteristics of your formal and informal businesses. It is very important that challenges in identification of money received and money paid can be addressed. In other words, you should be able to see, am I receiving or am I paying? If you remember what we did in the previous activity, you will be able to distinguish between money received and money paid. The calculation of cash at the end by mixing up money received and money paid. In most cases, if you're not able to tell whether the money was received or the money was paid, you'd have a problem in the calculation of the cash at the end. And then the calculation of profit by mixing up the UK method. It is important that you follow the steps that I showed you. What you want is a percentage over what you have as a percentage. Multiply by what you have in rands to give you what you want as a percentage. Before I leave you, dear learners, I have a challenge for you, and it reads: Harry, the owner of Delta Traders, has bought his wife a vehicle for her birthday using the business bank account. Rajesh, who is the bookkeeper, has told him that what he did was unacceptable. Why would Rajesh say that when Harry owns the business? I'm going to leave you with that, and then it is now time for me to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me in today's accounting class. And remember, you need to keep practicing. You need to keep working hard. Above all, you are a champion. Thank you. Hope to see you again later. Take care and goodbye.